Hello, hello, hello. Welcome everyone to episode 14 of the United States of Us. And we have a very special guest with us today, Nadja Marks-Shafton. And I'm going to let Lori introduce her today.
Yes, welcome, Nadja. Nadja is an award-winning artist, educator, and creative leadership mentor who helps people reconnect with their authentic voice through art, embodiment, and self-expression. With a BFA and summa cum laude, classical atelier, I know I pronounced that wrong, training, and over 2 decades as a professional artist, Nadja combines technical mastery with deep transformational work. Through her retreats, workshops, and teachings, she guides creatives from fear and self doubt into confidence and creative freedom. Her work explores the intersection of artistry, abundance, and personal transformation, inspiring people to create from not from scarcity, but from the fullness of who they are. Wow, Nadja, thank you so much for being here. We're so excited about what you're putting out in the world, and we would really love to learn about you and what you would like to share about you and your journey and how you became who you are today. So, with that, I'll turn it over to you.
Well, thanks for having me here today. I have known Tammy for quite a bit and absolutely love collaborating. So when she said, "Let's have you on the podcast," I'm like, "You don't like say less. Just I'll be there." And I'll share it's my birthday today. And so there's nowhere that I'd rather be than being the Leo, just shining the light into the world. That's very on brand. It's also on brand to say it's my birthday when I'm a Leo because Leos, every single birthday, it's like we've never had a birthday before. Um, I'm
Happy
just
birthday!
Thank you. I'm thrilled. I'm thrilled to be on this planet at this time. I'm thrilled to be um, listening for my calling every single day in a deeper way. I'm thrilled to be learning how to stay present in the moment better every single day. Um, and I'm just happy to be here. And I love the way that you run the podcast, that it's so present and you don't come with anything prepared. And I just love that so much.
Yeah, I mean, it's worked for us. Lori and I have been friends for almost 35 years.
Over
And
35.
okay. Well, we didn't have
Okay.
to add that in. Come on, Lori.
Sorry. You know how I roll.
And real is who we are. That's what's always made us us. And when Lori had the idea to do this, it just was perfect. And I'm so glad that you're here too. I was saying earlier before we started the recording that we have sort of come full circle with this episode because our last two episodes have been really targeted about the divine masculine. And I can't imagine a person better suited to round us completely out with the divine feminine than you, Naja. You are so sensitive and so conscious and so intentional about the way that you run your business, the way that you work as an artist, and the way that you live your life. And I really admire and am inspired by that. So it's an honor to have you here with us today.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm so curious from you when you say the way that I run my business. What do you see that is intentional about that? I'm just
Well,
curious.
I've had the experience of coming to one of your art classes for people who are not artists, which is me. And and I really love the way that your passion for what you do really creates the business part of what you do. I think in the society that we live in, that's very capitalistic and very money focused, and that tends to use the measuring stick of money as success. I think for someone to really show up as authentic and passionate about what they do, sort of reverses that model a little bit and shows that you can actually be successful loving what you do
Mhm.
versus being successful doing what you do. So I thank you for that.
Yeah, that's something I'm so passionate about. I have three stops. Like I imagine that my art school that it's a virtual art school online. I imagine that it has three stops on the train. The first stop is the skills of how to paint, how to do it. Like you need the skills in order to go off to the next stop. The next stop is what to paint. What are you here to say? When I was in college, I had the experience of knowing how to paint, but I didn't know what to paint. Who am I? What am I here to communicate? Like nobody holds space for that. In college, it's like
Right,
you've got a project to do by a certain deadline, and then you're going to critique it, but no one's actually talking about like, well, in my college, no one was talking about who am I? What am I here to say? What is my communicate? Like art is a communication. What am I communicating?
right.
What is that? It was like I just didn't know. And so the next stop is what do I paint? And then the final stop is why am I painting? And that's kind of what you're speaking to, Tammy. Like I'm painting because I see myself as a vessel for the creator. I see myself as holding a vehicle or a vessel or an instrument. There's a lot of different metaphors for it, for how the creator wants to use me, that I'm usable. And I'm not I'm not trying to hijack my vehicle. I'm trying to have a vehicle that's obedient to what the creator wants to give me. And so my end goal, like my version of success is not that I have a very successful business, it's that I am in line with um, ascended masters like Jesus, Buddha, Kuan Yin, like that's my version of success. Like it's being a
Yeah,
vessel that's high functioning for the creator to use you. And so that's why what I'm hearing you say is I'm doing what lights me up. Like literally what is the light that is coming through my vessel? Like I am just usable for the light that wants to come through my vessel. And that's what I teach in the final step of my school is um how fulfilling and satisfying it is to be a high functioning vessel for God. That God is my boss. I work for God. Like I don't work for a boss. That wouldn't work for me because I work for God. So I can't give that bosshood to anybody else. And it feels extremely fulfilling. And it's actually, people on this planet don't realize it's actually the source of abundance to be able to do that. But on this planet here, we think the only way to be abundant is to shut down our God vessel and like work for money. Like I don't work for money. I work for God. And there's always resources that I need to drive my vehicle.
And I'm sure all of that comes back to you as you need it because of what you're putting in the world, how you're coming from a place of total authenticity, allowing your purpose to come through you. Because Nadja, I believe that all of us have our own little purpose on this planet. Like for me, I can't draw a stick person straight. I was not meant to. I mean, and maybe you can teach me how to watercolor or something. I mean, third grade, it was not pretty. I'd come home with my stuff, and I think it probably ended up in the garbage. But that's not either here nor there. But I do believe that everyone has their own purpose, and like Tammy and I, we're here, and like she's mentioned, our little corner of the world. Bringing people together to show, unity and that each of us are a little bit unique, but underneath it all, we want all of the same things. And when we allow ourselves the space just to be present and to do what we're meant to do, the world is so aligned and the flow is beautiful. And from what you're saying, that's what I'm hearing from you is how you're living your life. It's beautiful.
Yeah, it feels like it's the only thing that's satisfying. Everything else has us yearning for something satisfying. And it's like, oh, if I just make 200,000, if I just make 400,000, if I just make 1 million, if I, I see it all the time, and entrepreneurs are like, okay, I did the thing and I'm so unsatisfied. Like that deep craving, that itch that they can never scratch um with that kind of work patterning.
Yeah, because it's not about the money. It's about what should you be doing here? It's what's your purpose? What lights you up? What makes you want to just throw those covers back in the morning and get out of the bed and just go and tackle the day, face that big, beautiful day? Because we have that every day. We get to make a choice.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's this story that I really love. It's about Krishna. He's a Hindu deity. And there's just a story where he is walking in his garden and everyone loves Krishna. They're all so happy to see him every morning. And he's walking in the garden and he's saying hi to all the different flowers and all the, like, he's talking to them. And one day he's really sad and they're like, why is he so sad today? What's going on? He's always happy. And he said, today I have to cut down the bamboo. And they're like, and the bamboo's like, wait, what? Why? Why do you have to do that? He's like, because I have to. And the bamboo's like, okay, if you say so, I'm like, you're Krishna. I just want whatever is your will, fine. And so he cuts the bamboo and he turns it into a flute. And he plays that flute. He never lets the flute, it's by his side all the time. He's always playing that flute. And everyone else in the garden's like, wait, that's not fair. I want to be with Krishna all the time. I want to be played by him. I want to be breathed life into like he does every single day. And now the flute is this like, everyone's jealous of the flute. I feel like that's what this game of life is. It's at first the ego has to go through such a like death to like cut it off. Like I have so many journal entries of walking myself out of that path of just like the entrepreneur who's just like so holding on to the results. And but when I allow myself to be cut from that path, I feel a greater sense of satisfaction and pleasure, which is that I'm being breathed life into. When you say like you wake up and the covers come, like you get out of the covers, like that's the feeling of being breathed into life. And it's the most satisfying feeling that I know. And so I'm all in, like I'm all in. And I don't know where my art school is going, and I don't know how many, like I don't know, but I'm just making myself as usable as possible.
Yeah, and the beauty of it is we don't have to know today because it's all unfolding perfectly exactly how it's supposed to because you're in alignment and you're working through your purpose. And who knows? I mean, tomorrow you may end up with something else that you're presented with. It's like, oh, I need to pivot just a little bit and head down this way. And that's okay too.
Yes.
Yeah, you don't have to stay stuck. You don't have to stay in your spot you're in. And I don't know if you know this about me, but I left corporate America a few years ago because I was so unfulfilled. And I had manifested this most amazing, perfect job for me. The people I worked with were such beautiful people. The customers were amazing. It was just the job I had dreamed up for myself, making more money than I had ever made. And after being in that chair for just like 3 weeks, looking out my office window, I went, I'm still unfulfilled. What am I going to do? And then I went down my journey, ended up having a QHHT session. And then a few months after that, ended up leaving corporate America and have been on this other journey ever since. But yeah, yeah. I mean, that unfulfillment. And there's so many people who are just living in that space, another 10, 15 years, 20 years, whatever that looks like until I have my little nest egg and I can retire. But they're just numbers. I mean, those numbers can go away anytime. What are you going to be left with if that happens?
Yeah, right. That search for safety is a gilded prison. It's You're never going to feel safe. The stock market's always going to feel volatile. Like I had this experience where a family member was selling a very expensive property, real estate property, and she's like, now I have to pay capital gains tax. That like that's like $500,000. So now I have to reinvest it into other houses, like do a 1031 exchange or something. Like it's like once you have the resources, then you're in a whole nother pickle.
Yeah.
It's just this like gilded prison of like now what do I do with my resources? And like there's not
Hey,
anything. there's no best investment here on this planet. And
Accept yourself.
so I invest in myself. I invest in my joy. I invest in my pleasure. I invest in love, like whatever's going to make me a more loving person. Yeah, I just see. I know very clear I'm going on a different path than most people choose, and in that it requires a lot of fortification of like owning that this is the path that I'm choosing instead of being a victim to like for a while I felt like I was a victim to choosing the different path. I was like, this isn't fair. Like everyone's going that direction and I'm going this direction. Like that's not fair. And now I'm in a place of like this is my choice and I've made peace with that and it's very different than most people choose.
And I would venture to say not only is it a choice, but you get to be a pioneer to show other people how to do that because I think we are at a big, big turning point in our whole planet right now. And I think that many, many people are finding questions inside that 10 years ago they wouldn't have had, or, and so that's kind of the way that I look at it for me too. I've always marched to the beat of my own drum as well. And um, I'm going to have to reflect on whether or not I've chosen to be a victim of that. But I do know that I have many moments where I'm like, well, I'm just going to be a pioneer. I don't know all the answers, so I'm just going to take a step and trust that the road is going to rise to meet me. So,
Yep. I love that that the road is gonna rise to meet me. That's really a beautiful um that's a beautiful feeling of support, feeling supported on your choice. That if you're gonna choose that path, that at least the road is gonna be there to support you.
right, right. And as Lori said, I may have to pivot at some point, but I'll be shown that when the time comes and I
I'm
get to
here for a
trust.
pivot.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I get to trust. Get to
I love the
trust.
idea of feeling light enough that I can pivot. Like part of fortifying my light vessel is that I'm light enough that I'm not holding on to too much um, heaviness or weight or emotional weight or attachment that I can pivot when and if necessary. I like that feeling. I like the
Yeah.
feeling of I'm gonna have to do so much in order to move to Spain. Like I know you moved to Spain. It's like to be able to be light to pivot on that kind of calling is really, I love that.
Yeah. Yeah. It's
Free-
it's still a little overwhelming at times, but it's also, there I'm here. I'm
Mhm.
here. And so now the choice in front of me is what do I do with it? Do I live it or do I just sit here and be overwhelmed? I didn't go through all of that to sit here and be overwhelmed. So just going to live it.
It sounds like you're beautifying it the way you're talking about making your home so beautiful.
Oh, yes. Yes. I can't wait. Like the vision is, we can just see it in little micro steps coming true. So
And
it's
Lori,
amazing.
I watched the podcast episode with Nick that you guys just
Oh,
did, and
yeah.
I loved the part. I actually really there was many times I was like, I really resonate with Lori because the way that you were saying like, call me crazy, but I'd rather just sit on my porch and watch squirrels
Yeah.
and change out the TV for a piece of art. Like I don't have a TV
Yes.
at my house. I'd rather watch squirrels. I was like, I
Yes.
really resonate with this woman.
I mean, that is our entertainment. It's outside. It's not being told what to think through a black box. I'm over it.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
I like TV and movie I like certain shows and certain movies for metaphor purposes. I just watched the Odysseus movie and there's so many metaphors that I can really chew on and enjoy, but like it's not anything that I would ever want to do to just like sit on the couch and watch TV for hours. I have so much to do. Like I feel like I have so much to create and I don't like to spend my time like zoning out. I don't like numbing out. It's not
Yeah.
something that um turns me on. Doesn't light me up.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
And
I
the
can
TV will
relate to
do
that.
that. Yeah, the TV will do it because it puts you in a hypnotic state within like 30 seconds. There's been studies about it. There's patents out there around it, about the waves that come through. And I think Nick and I were actually talking about that a little bit on the last episode. And it numbs people out. I mean, I was one of those people who I loved sports. I loved football. I mean, I live in Nashville and I would drive to Memphis, and Memphis was where I went to school and would go to like half of the home games. And then we also had season tickets here, and we had a boat that we go play on. So we basically worked all week, had a few hours together at night, and then on the weekends, we were completely busy, distracted, and all of our energy was invested in those things instead of, who am I? Why am I here? What's my purpose? And how am I feeling? Because I know Monday mornings would roll around and it was all I could do to drag myself out of the bed after playing so hard on the weekends. And that was an escape. I mean, it was an escape and a distraction. And I mean, I'm not saying, I mean, I still have my Tiger tag on the back of my car. I'm a little too lazy to go get a new one because that one they keep sending me renewals every year, but it doesn't bother me to have it on there. We're kind of the little guys, the Memphis team compared to like University of Tennessee, which we did beat one time. And I was at that game, by the way. Yes. Cost Peyton Manning the Heisman that year. And oh, a little trivia tidbit, just for anybody who'd like to know, Memphis may be one of the only teams that beat both of the Manning brothers. I'm just saying, I've not researched it, but just a little trivia tidbit if anyone wants that. Yeah.
Thank you. And so I'm gonna keep that one in my back pocket.
Yeah, right. Because you'll need that someday. But yeah, I mean, I found myself just in this space that I'm like, why am I here? This feels like work. And when, I was backing away from drinking and what have you, and I started feeling all the energy because I realize now the reason I numbed so much is not only from the trauma I experienced growing up, my programming, all of that, but that it was heavy to feel the world. It was absolutely just oh my gosh, it was heavy because I could feel everyone's emotions around me. And when I stopped taking all my pharmaceuticals, backed away from the alcohol, that's when it really started to hit. And I had to go in and just pull myself back into me and just sit. And let me tell you, that first Sunday when David went off to the Titans football game and I stayed here and I was feeling kind of bad about it, but I went and laid out on my back patio all by myself with my squirrels and my birds and the sunshine and just breathe. I just was able to breathe, is the only way I can describe it. And the healing really began. It's been a process, but yeah. So anyway, I used to be a big football fan. So I'm not knocking it. I get it. I played fantasy football. I was on two teams one year. I have won the whole thing before, la, 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 la. And I just saw this morning my husband sent out an email that the Walpoles, us, we have now we're no longer playing fantasy football. None of us in that group. So he's pulling his energy back too. So I'm proud of him.
Wow.
Yeah.
What an inspiration you are, Lori.
I don't know. He may have just gotten tired of doing it. Who knows? But he's here. So I love that for
Yeah.
him because now he's got more time to focus on other things instead of
Yeah.
looking at stats and trying to figure out what player to put in the lineup. Whatever.
And I don't even feel like I'm knocking, fantasy football. Like if it depends on our come from. It depends on
Yeah.
are we looking for an escape? Are we looking to numb out? Or are we wanting to use it as a metaphor for, for manifestation or a metaphor for how we are how powerful we are. Like if you're using it for that, go right ahead. It's just that most people aren't. So that's why it's not something that's ever I've never been called to football because the general um consensus or the general population that tunes into that do like to numb out with beer and chicken um and that kind of like group think mentality, and that's just not something that I like. I don't resonate with it.
Yeah, and I
Yeah.
think that I was actually meant to go through all of that so I understand it. And I can relate to all of those people. I've been there. I know how that feels. I was right in there. And it is, when you're in that space, it's so fun. I had a great time with those people. And it's not just about being like a time sucker. There is a connection there. You're connecting with those people that you're in the same frequency bandwidth with, and you're enjoying that. And so I'm not knocking it. I'm just saying it is a distraction. Feed them bread and show them circuses and they'll never question.
Right.
And yeah, we're all questioning.
Yeah. Yeah. We made a decision when we moved into this house. We had a small TV earlier, but we didn't put a TV in our living room here. We ended up getting a projector that I was going to use for my coaching stuff as well.
Mhm.
And we use it as a TV in the living room. But what it does is like we have a whole wall where we have art and pictures and things. And then we have a space where if we decide to turn the projector on, we can project it right up there and see. But it is different from the way that we've watched television in the past. It's very conscious. We don't turn it on unless there's something specific that we want to see. And that's kind of neat.
Yeah.
That's been really refreshing, I think, like you said. And I do feel the energy shift. Like if it's on in the background, like it's very apparent to me how um lowered my vibration can become around that. So I agree with that. Tell us, Nadia, about your your different sessions of your art school. If you want to go into more detail about, I would love to know the inspiration, where you're at with that, and what means the most to you out of that.
Well, to start with, I talk about it as painting, but it's so much more than painting. It's how I was saying about fantasy football. If you're using like painting could either be, I don't know, it could be like paint a pretty picture, paint a pretty flower, like it could be that, and that's fine. For me, it's get in touch with the frequency that you're meeting God. Like it's a very different opportunity that I use it for. I use painting as a very high frequency opportunity. And so when I teach painting, it's really not just about painting. It's about the transformation of who you become when you're aligning yourself with the creator. um, we're creators. We just are. And so we can either be creating things that we don't want in life, or we can create things that we do want. And so I'm using painting as a modality or as a metaphor to show you how to create what you do want in your life. So Tammy was in my la 2 months ago class, and what I do is I teach for 1 month. You can go from never picking up a paintbrush to fully able to paint a painting that looks like the painting, and you can use it as a repeatable process. Like I'm showing a system of how you can get from blank canvas to fully painted in a way that you like it enough that you would even put on your wall or give it as a gift or sell it. But it's not just about the painting. It's about I learned how to create something from scratch, and I can use that system, that process, to create whatever I want in my life.
Mm.
Because when we're thinking about creating in our life, there's so many obstacles. It's like the thoughts can be so like there could be a billion thoughts between me and what I'm creating. But when you can think in a system of first the big shapes, like first we're just going to focus on the drawing. We're just going to draw the infrastructure of the thing, and we just focus on that. And then we're going to only think about the values of the thing from light to dark. Like, and I just teach each part in a segment. Oh, I'm getting a FaceTime. Let's see how to turn this off. Oh, there. Okay. Someone's calling me for my birthday. So,
Yeah.
so anyway, I lead the system so that someone can go from, I don't know how to create blank, in this case, it's a painting, to I fully know how to do that. I know how to do that here and there and repeatably. And who I've become is someone that can co-create at a very high level with the creator. Um, so like I talked about before, first level is skills. The next level is your soul. Who are you here? What are you here to communicate? So once you have a system for how to create things in your life, now it's like, now what do I want to create? I could create anything. I could create a painting of Peyton Manning, which I've done a lot of commissions for people of like a football player or something like that. Or I could create something that's like from the depths of my soul that God is speaking life into me. And so that's how I laid out my art school is first you need the system in order to know how to create something from scratch, from a blank canvas, which could be intimidating for many, especially if they've never painted before. And then once you have that confidence, it's almost like you're wearing a tool belt and you're like, now what house am I going to build? Like you have the tools. You're like, this is the hammer, this is the screwdriver. I know how to use all these things. And then it's like, oh, wait, what kind of house? Where is the house? What's it for? And so then the next step of the journey is what's it for? What is my house for? Is it a house for God? Is it a house for love? Is it a house for light? Is it a house like my house? Just talking about my actual physical house. It's a house for creativity. Like I have turned my house into an exhibition, a permanent exhibition. I went to Frida Kahlo's house in Mexico, and when she was alive, she was like, um, she's like, I just want to have an art show. And she had one art show before she passed away, and she was bedridden for her show. And they took her in her whole bed to the show. She's like, I'm not missing my first show. And she went bedridden to her show. So when I went to visit her gallery, I was like, I'm not waiting till I'm dead. I'm going to do this now. And so now I've turned my house into like a permanent exhibition. I have gatherings there. I have retreats there. It's a home for creativity. So once you have the skills, once you know what it's for, once you know like what your soul is here to express, then it's like, what is it for? Who am I calling in? Who am I sharing this with? And that's the stage that I have walked so far that's why I'm teaching it in the form of painting. So as you can see, it's much more than painting, but it's the modality of painting. And I'm so passionate about it. I'm like trying to like hone it into this dialogue right here.
No need to hone. Let it fly. Let it shine.
Yeah.
What
Yeah, I love that.
I love that too. And Nadja, I think what you're offering is so beautiful and so needed by many people because I think about, all the people who go in and they work their desk jobs or whatever it is that they do, and they're just have their, what I call Groundhog Day. You get up and, you wake up, you have breakfast, whatever that looks like, go to work, eat lunch, work the rest of the day, come home, have a few hours of TV on, go to bed, do it again the next day. Your program is showing people a way to kind of express themselves and to do something different that's out of their comfort zone a little bit. And I'm sure there are a lot of people finding their way that, oh my gosh, I love this. I love doing this.
Yeah.
Why am I not doing more of this? This feels so good. And then it allows themselves just time to be with themselves while they're working through the process,
Yeah.
which gives them a connection back to themselves. And they start getting messages and all kinds. They don't even understand it's happening.
Yes.
And it's also providing them a release. If they've got something they need to release out of their bodies that they've been holding, they can just put it on canvas. And they may not even understand it in the moment of what's happening, but they're releasing. And we all have different ways that we do that. So thank you so much for doing what you're doing.
Lori, you just like literally said exactly what I'm doing. You're very psychic, by the way. That was a very
Oh,
psychic channeled message. That's exactly what I'm doing. It's about, and I love to teach people that are like pharmacists and corporate. I love to teach people that are like, I don't even know the first thing about who I am and what I'm like, what my creativity does. I have no idea. I specifically love to teach people at the beginning of their creative journey. Like there's a lot of artists for a lot of things. I really love that beginning place of the journey because my perception of people is that a lot of people haven't turned the light on inside their inner
Yes.
home. Like inside your inner home, the light is still on Groundhog's Day, and they might not even know, but that's for me, that was a dark reality. I didn't like that reality. And so I've seen for a long time that my mission here is to turn the light on inside people. And it's something I'm so good at and something I'm so passionate about. And so I've found that I really love to work with those people that you were saying, like they don't know how to express themselves. They don't know how to release emotion. They don't know how to turn their emotion into creative energy because emotion is just raw fuel. So if you go back to the metaphor of the car, we're a vehicle and our emotions are our fuel. And so when I teach someone how to use your fuel as creative energy, then you have a lot more authority over your fuel and like directionality and intentionality, and then you can move in a better on a better path than just kind of doing the same path over and over. You can use your fuel instead of numbing it because we
Mhm.
so many people on this planet are numbing their emotions, but that's for an artist, that's gold. Like that is your emotions are gold. I'm teaching you how to turn your emotions into usable fuel that's going to actually drive your vehicle in a direction that you're like ecstatic about, like that you're in charge of and that you're satisfied and fulfilled by.
Yeah,
I
it's
love
so
it.
great.
Nadia, I remember you saying one time that your father said something about your career. Was that you that was talking about how you finally found the thing that fit you or
Oh, my dad said to me, I heard you say fit you. I think what you're saying is my dad said to me that I found a life that fits me like a glove. Is that what you're talking
yes,
about? Yeah.
yes.
Yeah, I loved that he said that. I told him recently that he said that. He's like, I said that? I'm like, yes. Yeah, I'm a very unique, my whole family knows I'm very unique. Like most of the people in my life think that I'm from a different planet. It's just something I hear all the time. And so so for him to say you have found the thing that fits you like a glove, I find as a huge compliment because it didn't work for me to try to like do other things. I feel like I've taken my life and wrapped it around me like a glove instead of tried to fit myself into other people's gloves. Um, and that's where my joy is that my life fits me like a glove. Like that feels so joyful. I felt so depleted from joy when I was trying to fit into other people's gloves. It just didn't
Yes.
work at all.
Yes.
So I'm grateful today on my birthday to be able to say that I am closer and living the experience that fits me like a glove in and I've spent so many years not being able to say that. So the gratitude I feel is so immense.
I think that's just such a beautiful compliment and acknowledgement of love from a parent,
Yeah.
especially. So you can just
Both of my
feel,
parents, yeah, both of my parents have honored my path so much. They've been worried at certain parts. I've had family members who've said like when I told them that I'm what I'm doing, they're like, "Oh, thank God. I thought that you've just been unemployed for all these years." Like they don't know what I've been up to because it's been a very
right.
inner journey that I've been on. And so, but I can say I've had mostly love and support from my family as I've been learning how to fit myself like a glove.
I love that. I love that so much. I think it's a beautiful compliment.
Yeah, I know. I know. It really stuck with me.
Yeah,
Tell
it's
us
great you've
more.
got, go
Go
ahead,
ahead,
Tammy.
Lori. No, you
I
go.
was just going to say it's great that you've got such supportive parents because, we've all got our own definition of what success looks like. And many parents, think, oh, you've got to be, fit in this little box of what society says how you're supposed to look. And I love that your parents are supportive of that. That's
Yeah.
beautiful.
I feel so grateful for that. And that's part of my mission of why I do this is I feel that I want to give that, I want to pay that forward. Because most of the people in my art school, like the people that come to me, most of them have stories that their parents were like, you had to go into corporate, you had to go into pharmacy. You like all these things that just totally killed their soul, or not killed their, you can't kill your soul, but dimmed their light.
Yeah.
The things that really dimmed their light, and they're like, what? You were allowed to, and I just give so much permission for them to start turning their light on. And it's really a feeling of paying it forward. I feel so privileged and blessed, and I want to pay it forward so big.
I love that. So, of your three sessions in your school, which is your favorite and why?
My favorite is the soul journey. Uh, the skill journey is really fun and sweet, and I feel like it's lighthearted. Some people might think like, whoa, this is like a big awakening. I feel that it's very lighthearted. And Tammy, did you feel like that? It was
Oh,
very
yes, I loved it.
the soul journey is also light-hearted. It's an inner journey. So in the first part, the skills journey, we are painting a painting that already exists. Like Van Gogh painted sunflowers, and we're going to copy his sunflowers, and we're going to use my system in order to recreate the sunflowers. In the soul journey, we're not using someone else's painting. Where I'm activating your imagination, your visual imagination, to kind of see what's inside here. Like I keep going into the heart, but it's like, what is in here? What is this? What is the visual world that exists inside me? Just as if someone was going to a poetry class and they're getting poetry prompts to kind of drag their poetry out of them. Tammy is an amazing, amazing writer, poet, amazing. And so, Tammy, imagine if you didn't have verbal language to communicate, your poetry would just lie dormant inside of you. And so the soul journey is so exciting because I'm having that not lie dormant inside a person. Like there's a phrase like don't die with your song still in your chest. And so it's like let's see what you have so that you don't even live another day without knowing what lives inside you. I'm just giving you the language to be able to language it so that you can express it. Because if we for some reason we have verbal language, everyone's like, "Oh yeah, I know how to talk." But they think that the visual language is like some esoteric, like no, it's not. You just need a good teacher. It's not esoteric, it's our birthright. And so I teach the
Mm.
language of the visual communication so that I can pull it forth from you. You can pull it forth from you. And then you can be like, oh my God, like I have so many different students and they all have a different style, a different aesthetic. They're called to different imagery. One student is called to caves and bioluminescence and dragons, and she wants bioluminescence on the dragon scales. And that's just a knowing for her. It's a knowing. Whereas another student is in a totally different visual land, a totally different inner world where maybe they have more indigenous imagery that is coming forth from them, and they're uncovering lifetimes of images that they didn't even know that they had access to. And so I'm giving them I've got chills right now. I'm giving them the language so that they can start verbalizing their visual landscape, because that's my superpower. That's what I've been doing for myself. And I also happen to be a really great teacher to be able to teach others to do it.
Yeah, I thought it was something interesting that you said there about the painting and about how we speak with our words. We only have so many words, and it takes a long time for us to speak something. But when you put something visually together and the message is all incorporated in that and
Yeah.
it's all captured and the frequency and vibration and all of it's in there, it's magnificent. Yes.
What she said.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. We can't always verbalize frequency. We can. I don't want to put limitations on us, but painting the visual world is another dimension. It's not neither is better or worse. I believe it is our birthright to be able to be a prism that can express God in any different modality, whether it's dancing kinetically, like a movement, or verbalization, or painting, um, music. Like not none are better or worse. They are just expressions of the divine through your prism. And what if we had a rainbow that only had one color of it? Like God doesn't just express as one of the colors of the rainbow. It's multi-prismatic. And for some reason, we have this thought that if you don't learn it by the time you're like 3, you can't learn it. Like that's so made up. It's just not real. It's not true. And I'm just here to say it is our birthright to be able to not even just express yourself. Like, I don't even really love the word express yourself because you're not expressing you, you're expressing God. It's not you that it's like you're making space for God to express itself as you. And
Hmm.
that's when it's so beautiful. It's like it's so beautiful to hear music where you're like, I have chills all over my body because that is God coming through that musician. That musician has made themselves usable. They have gotten their skills to a certain level that they can let their instrument be like Krishna's bamboo flute, like that they can truly express that musically. And I love music. I love music and dancing and writing and painting. Like, if there's a modality, I'm using it, I'm not just sticking to painting. I'm just using painting as a modality to kind of enter. If you enter it through one door, you have access to all the doors. That's how I see it.
That just gave me chills. I feel your passion and I feel your
Yes.
vibration. It's beautiful. It's beautiful.
Yeah. I feel so passionate about God. Like I feel so passionate about God. Like I just want to express the divine into this planet because this planet is quenched, like parched. It's it's like parched for the divine and we're all looking for it in one another.
Mhm.
And Tammy and I have done a lot of leadership transformation work. And Tammy, in that first segment, what we call vision, when you start seeing people like take the borders down, the boundaries down, and you can choose to love one another without any barriers or blocks on there, it's like everyone should experience that.
Oh,
Yeah, yeah, the
100%.
acceptance. I mean, the acceptance of just loving people where they are for who they are in the moment. And we're all working through all of our own shit. We are. And I mean, we do. But yes, just finding our way to just stop and seeing the person in front of us and, just feeling the love.
Yeah.
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 And that's the crux of it too. You said it earlier, look, we all want the same things. We all want to be loved and we all want to love. And that at the very at the very end of the day is everything. I mean, that's what everything else is derived from.
Yep.
And this world has tried to do everything it can to disconnect us and take us out of that place. And the three of us, we've decided, no, no, we're not going that path anymore. We're doing this path. We're doing the love path. And I'm not saying there's not people who don't need to step up and be like, the protectors, the warriors, the ones that go out and rescue the children that are being trafficked and those things. We do need those people. We do need them. Um, but yes, I mean, the love for us to all come back to the love. And once we get this world into a place that everyone has enough and they're no longer in a scarcity mindset. I mean, this world and people, I know a lot of people are scared of AI. I kind of love AI. I'm like, it's going to free up so much time for people who are doing mundane stuff that it's like, why am I spending all of my hours doing this? And a
Hmm.
computer can spit it out and it's fine doing it. It doesn't have emotions. It doesn't care. It's fine to go and do those mundane things. And it allows people the time for the creativity and the reconnection back to themselves and find their way back to love.
Yeah. I love how you're saying it's all back to love and even hearing the protectors and the warriors that are going for the child trafficked. It's like they're doing it in the name of love.
Yes, they
So
are.
what we're learning is even when we're fierce, we're doing it in the name of love,
Mhm.
And so it's all in the name of love.
Yes.
Everything, everything. So, Nadja, I mean, Hope and I were in your skills journey together, and Hope sometimes has a little bit harder time connecting to her divinity, like in really honoring who she is and what she does. And were so wonderful with working with her and helping her to see that and to trust that and to respect it and honor it. And so if one of our viewers is watching this and thinking, well, I could never pick up a paintbrush, I could never do anything like that. I suck. I'm not doing, what would you say to them?
I I love Hope so much. I just laughed with her. I let her bring bring and be what she is, and I just had this inner smile that was like keep leaning in, keep trusting. And there were certain pivotal parts of her journey where she's like, I guess I'm an artist now. And she even posted about it on Facebook. Like, I didn't ask her to post about it on Facebook, but she's like, this is what I've been up to. I guess I'm an artist now. So I think that the mind really wants us to fight for our limitations. And then sometimes we have people in our life that's like, you can fight for your limitations. That's totally normal. It's super, it's normal. And what lies on the other side of that is, I mean, she walked the El Camino, like who she became on the other side of that. She didn't think she was going to be able to do that. So she could have either fought for her limitations and been like, no, there's no possible way I can walk for that many days, not knowing anybody. But when I saw her on the other side of that, she was like beaming, like bright and light and free. And she's like, I walked with people I didn't even know anything about them, and we're like deep connected, and then we don't see each other again. Like who you become on the journey after you're not fighting for your limitations is a freer version of ourselves. It's a loving, free, powerful version of ourselves. That's our true self. So I don't know if someone wants to, what I like to say to people is bring it, like put it on the altar. I love when people have stories about how they're not an artist. I'm like, bring it. Like, you learned that somewhere. Bring it to the altar and put it on the altar. I don't need you to change that. I don't need you to re-identify yourself as an artist. I don't care. Just bring whatever your stories are, your limitations are, your frustrations, Tammy, you walked through some pretty strong emotional stuff too. Bring it. Like this art can hold all of it. And I can certainly hold all of it. I love to hold all of it. That's the kind of art teacher that I am. I see that we carry stuff through our childhood into our teenagehood, into our young adulthood, and into our adulthood. Bring it. Bring it. Don't leave it. Don't leave any of it behind. Like bring all of it and put it on the altar of the creator, because the creator wants you to come back home. And this is just one modality for doing that. This is not the only, it's just one modality that absolutely helps people come back home for sure.
Beautiful, beautiful. Thank you, Nadja, for what you do. Like I mentioned, I can't draw a stick person straight, but maybe I need to take your class. And maybe so. Check it out. See if I can do some
And you know
watercolors.
what? Prove yourself right or prove yourself
Right.
wrong. It's up to you. Like, I don't teach in watercolor. You can do it watercolor. I teach in
I,
oil paint.
I just
But
say watercolor because it's all I know from third grade.
yeah, most people haven't oil painted, and I'm fine with that. I'm fine to teach in a medium that most people are like, "What? That's for professionals." Like, I've got you. I can handle it. I love when people tell me they can't draw a straight line or a stick person or a circle. I hear that all the time. And all I'm seeing is your inner child who didn't learn that in school and now thinks that there's something wrong with you. You just didn't learn it. If you
Yeah.
learned it, you would not say that. So you just didn't learn it. I'm privileged that I got to learn it, and I kept learning, and I kept learning from a tradition that was passed down from Michelangelo and Leonardo da Vinci. But I learned it. It's not that I just came out of the womb drawing stick figures.
Right.
So like all I hear is, and I just have so much love and compassion for your little child who's like, I wait, hello, I didn't learn how to draw a stick figure. It's okay. I'll teach you. I'll show you.
Okay. Well, how can people find you? How people who are interested in your classes, how do they
So
find
I have
you?
a I have a website called freeartskills.com, freeartskills.com. And that's where they can get what it says. You get free art skills. You get everything that I've ever learned for free. It's just my way of being like it's our birthright to have these skills. So the course that Tammy is talking about is called Paint Along Journey. So if you want to take those free art skills and you want to learn it in a community of other people that are learning it together, so you've got more accountability, because most people don't go through it without accountability. If you want the accountability and you want me to actually walk you through the steps to paint, um, that's what the Paint Along Journey is for. Right now it's $111 and it's literally like 25 years of art training in 1 month, and it's lighthearted and fun. So you can go through the free art skills and then you can decide to come to the paint along journey if you want to, or just stay at the free art skills. If you want to keep going, you can go to the skill journey. But if you go through free art skills, it's going to get you into like the process of how you can be in the field with me.
Okay.
Yeah. And speaking of the field, I want to say I love the quote by Rumi, and I know it's Tammy's dog's name. Beyond the field of right doing and wrongdoing, there is a field. No, beyond ideas of right doing and wrongdoing, there is a field. I'll meet you there. So my school is beyond right doing and wrongdoing. We don't have to stay in that like I'm good, I'm bad, I'm right, I'm wrong. We can go past that, and there's a whole world of creativity back there. And that's where I will meet you. And yeah, you can just find me through the Free Art Skills website. And I also have another website called casanadja.com. And that's where you can see my artwork. And I also am on Instagram at casanadja.com.
Okay. Wonderful.
Perfect.
Thank you.
So, I told another friend that you were our special guest today, and this is a mutual friend that we have, and they have a question for you, and that is, when you take a commission from someone, how do you go about arriving at what you deliver?
You mean the commission? How do I do a commission? Uh, so a commission is a space where I am almost like a surrogate mother for someone else's vision. So I have a very deep conversation with that person to understand the frequency so that I can start putting together the visual frequency that they're wanting. Most people don't know how to even convey what they're asking for, so another one of my superpowers is helping someone convey what they're asking so that we can really get clear on exactly what they're asking for. For instance, I have my biggest commission that's come to me recently. And he wants his whole divine team, every single person on his divine team. There's many people, there's archangels, there's animals, I mean, it's a powerhouse of a painting. And we are getting really clear on exactly each of those beings. What do they look like? How do they feel? How do they come through? And I ask questions that are like this or that questions so that your inner knowing can be like that. And you don't have to do like this open-ended, right? You don't have to write essays about it. You can just have your inner knowing be like, it's that, and kind of walk yourself. And then obviously like, you're like, I knew what it was. I knew what it looked like. And then I paint it. So I'm a surrogate for that vision to come through. So I'm really leaning heavily on their vision, but it's with my expertise that it starts looking like they want it to look.
I love that. I love that. I think there has to be an element of trust when you hire someone to do that, and trust in yourself, trust in their vision, and trust that the divine is coming through you when you deliver that to them. So,
Yeah. Yeah, and I pray the whole painting. I don't have the kind of arrogance that says I know how to paint this. It's like I'm asking his divine team to paint it through me and I'm just getting out of the way. I'm just like I know how to get myself out of the way so that this painting can come through as accurately as possible because I see it as a divine appointment. I don't see it as just a commission, money
right.
in the bank. I see it as a divine appointment. I feel like I am being asked by their higher self to bring into visual form something that they need to be seeing. They have to be
Yeah.
seeing in this planet. They have to be seeing the beacon of that thing. And so I just get out of the way. Anytime I don't get out of the way, the spirit world just laughs at me. They're like, "You think that you're painting this? You're not painting this. You're painting this." And then I'm like, "Oh yeah, my ego got in the way," and I move out of the way, and then they come through. And so yeah, that's the only I can either spend hours and hours fighting it, or I can just get out of the way, and it can even come through like super quickly.
Wow.
I love that
That's
so
amazing.
much. Well, we are at the top of our hour for the podcast. Is there anything else that you would like to share, Nadja, before we close our episode?
I just want to say to the people that are watching to not have me be the person who's like special in this. It's very Jesus-like, but it's like this is in you. Like it's it's not like I don't need to be pedestaled, or I don't need for your ego to be like, oh, that's easy for her to say. That's if you see it in me, it's in you, you know? And so I'm just here to model it or show the example of it so that you can activate it within you. And it's so exciting. If you're excited by what I'm showing up as, then it's so exciting that that exists in you. And if you're triggered by what I'm showing up as, that's also great because that, you get to face what that brings up for you. So I just want to remind people that they are also divine feminine. They're also divine masculine. This is not something that exists just for one human. It's truly every single one of our birthright is to remember that.
Thank you so
Beautiful.
much for being here. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you
Yes,
for
thank you,
having me.
Nadja.
Thank you for having this beautiful, fun podcast. I love the energy here.
You can come back anytime.
Yes.
Thank you.
So
All
lovely.
right.
It's a beautiful day. Thank you.
All right, viewers, thank you so much for joining us. We'll be back with you again next week, and we hope you have a great week.